Good afternoon, all. Happy Friday. Hope we had a lovely week so far. Almost to the end of November. Wow, time has absolutely flown. Well, I'll tell you what, today is perfect timing. And if you're wondering why I say that, it's because of this. I'd like to do the preview of this major upcoming series between Australia and England on Australian soil. Okay? Perfect timing because the first test is going to be starting shortly. So I think I'm just in time to do this preview. Okay? Before I do this preview of the first test and the series overall, just wanted to introduce you to my tutoring school called the Roki School of Excellence. It's an academic tutoring school that offers private tutoring for years 5 to 12 mathematics and group classes, as well as those classes in South Indian classical drums and octopad, which is an electronic percussion instrument, as well as the Western drums. So if you have a child, or if you know of any loved ones or friends or family who might be interested, please do ask them to contact us. We'll be more than happy to help them enroll because enrollments are open throughout the year. And my wife looks after the admin and the enrollment side of things, whilst I look after the teaching syllabus and the fees side of things. Okay, so please feel free to enroll if you're interested. Okay, on to the major part. Big series coming up. Well, I'll tell you, when these two teams go to war in cricket, it's massive. It's not just what they do on the field, but there's a lot of riding on, whether it be in Australia or in England. It's massive. England come into this series with nothing to lose. They're not going to be afraid. After all, it's against their arch rivals in Australia, and neither will Australia. They'll be absolutely fired up to try and pinch the series here, no doubt about it. And what I wanted to also mention was the first test is going to be starting in Perth. So now, being in Melbourne, they're 2 hours behind. So the Perth test will start at 1:20 p.m. Australia time, which I think is 10:20 a.m. in Perth, Friday. Okay, so it's going to be a very exciting series. It's a fast bowler's wicket, good bounce you get there. So you would think the fast bowlers from both sides, Australia and England, will benefit in that. Okay, now I would like to take this opportunity to show some lineups, what it looks like for the first test. So, here's Australia's lineup. Okay, we've got, as you can see, it's a very comprehensive lineup. Now, as you can see, the main missing pieces of the puzzle in the lineup is Josh Hazlewood and Pat Cummins. They're strike pace bowlers. Okay, it's going to be a big loss, no doubt, but they're going to be covered by, I think, Scott Boland, who's a very good BBL player and a very good all-rounder, and a debutant called Brendan Doggett, who I've never heard of, to be honest. I know he's a bowler, but I've never seen him, so looking forward to seeing what he can produce. The batting lineup is pretty good, with Smith, Marnus, Labuschagne and stuff, Usman Khawaja, so no excuses there. But the loss of Cummins and Hazlewood, their strike pace bowlers, I think is going to hurt a little bit. But let's see. This is where depth is going to be tested. I'm not saying Australia will lose because of the absence of those two, but they're going to have to work a little bit harder to win this. And if they do, I won't be surprised either, because remember one thing, Australia are a team who can manage without key players too. They've done it before, why wouldn't they do it again? Yep, so looking forward to seeing that one. On the other hand, let's have a look at the England lineup. Yeah, a very good lineup, solid lineup, especially with their batting. You got Joe Root and all that, and the way they strike the ball, many of their batsmen, is simply amazing. Some good depth with their bowling, and look, no real excuse for them as well. They'll try and come with, nothing to lose attitude against their arch rivals, like I said earlier, and try and strike first blood. That's what they'll try to do as well. And they've got a big Barmy Army supporter base in Australia, believe it or not. I went to a national series with some friends for a few times at the MCG, and the way the Barmy Army supporters roar, especially when England are getting a wicket or scoring runs and they're putting Australia on the back foot, is phenomenal. Sometimes the Barmy Army chants more loud than the supporters supporting Australia, to be very honest, from my experience when I've attended games. So they'll turn up in large volumes and they will produce a lot of noise to try and see to get these boys home. So it's going to be a very fascinating encounter between these two sides. There's no two ways about that. Now, the next thing I would like to ask, given what we spoke about in terms of you know, whether their absence is going to be felt or not. I've got some questions I'd like to ask here. Will the absence, right, of Josh Hazlewood and Pat Cummins be a big blow to Australia? Well, like I said, I thought it would be, and it could still be, but that's not to say Australia will not win this match, okay? But remember one thing, they're the most experienced pace bowlers in Australia, truth to be told. And especially Pat Cummins, you give him a bit of a sniff with the new ball. Remember, both of them will bowl with the new ball that swings like miles. Both have some good pace. You give them a bit of sniff, they can end up with five wickets or more next to their name. So it's going to hurt a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, whenever a player gets absent, be it their key player or senior player, what is brought is every time there's an absence comes an opportunity. And with that opportunity, leads me to ask the next two questions, or the next question I should say. What can we expect from Test debutants Brendan Doggett and Michael Nesser, who I know is not in the lineup for the first Test, but I'd expect him to be debuting somewhere in these series. So either from Test match 2, anywhere between the second Test to the 5th Test, either way. Well, look, like I said, to me, Brendan Doggett is unheard of in my eyes. I've not been aware of him as a cricketer. I know he bowls, but I've not seen him as such. So looking forward to seeing what he can do. It's going to be a big shoe to fill in terms of, you know, covering the absence for Pat Cummins and Hazlewood. But look, it's a fantastic opportunity to see what young talent can do, right? Not just in cricket, but in any sport. So looking forward to seeing what this can produce. So, yeah, it's going to be a very fascinating series. The first Test to start in Perth, which is a good bouncy wicket. And then, you know, whoever gets the win here will absolutely enter the next few Tests with confidence. Whoever loses will have a bit of work to do. There's no two ways about that, okay? So, really, really looking forward to what's going to be a very, very encountering series between the two sides. Whenever they go head-to-head, it's just amazing. Like I said, the chant is going to be a lot, especially from the Barmy Army. And at the end of the day, I just cannot see this being a very boring contest unless each test match gets over in 2 or 3 days. But I'd hope not. I mean, I don't support either team. I support the Indian cricket team, but Ashes is a series that I look forward to as well. Something like India-Pakistan. So I'll leave it there, guys. I know the test match will be starting soon. Don't want to be speaking a lot because I myself am eager to see what happens on day 1 very shortly. Comment your thoughts, please. And please feel free to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. The more subscribers, the better. And also, please feel free to circulate these to your loved ones or friends or family who you know might be interested, okay? My next video will be talking about the preview of the India-South Africa very shortly, okay? And then after that, we'll talk about the test match reviews of both of them. Australia-England first test at Perth and India-South Africa second test in India, okay? Take care, guys. Have a lovely weekend and speak soon. Bye-bye.